What's up, guys? Thank you for clicking on the video. Appreciate it. So, welcome back to the channel. What we're doing today, we're gonna be watching another one. Why flat earthers scare me personally. I understand they scare me too, because who the hell could be like that stupid to think that the actual Earth is flat? Retarder alert? Like, really? Let's go ahead and watch the video, bros.
I'm starting to get worried about flat earthers.
Why
I
the
made a video
Why the fuck is this in French? I got auto
about this
CC'd
a
in
couple of
French.
years ago, and I thought that it was a temporary curiosity, like some religious sects have a moment in the sun and then disappear.
No, maybe because like I think that the one about the flying spaghetti monster is still around. Correct me if I'm wrong.
But the flat earther community seems to be growing. On the face of it, flat earth beliefs are completely bizarre. Most flat earthers think that the earth is a disk with a north pole in the middle and the south pole is a wall on the outside that keeps the water from escaping.
You know, like have any of them actually tried? I'm fucking traveling, and like this looks so. It looks weird, but it also looks cool. Like imagine living here. If you were to live on this trip like this, you'd probably die immediately. Well, no, we will probably evolve to like adapt to living in certain this condition. But look at it, it's so weird. Like imagine if we had the planes now. What we go so straight out. And would space travel be easier? All we have to do is go straight. You know what I'm saying? Like it's an interesting concept. You just fall off.
They can't really agree on where the continents are or how many there are, or whether the South Pole maybe extends all the way to infinity. So it's a flat Earth multiverse theory, basically. Part of the reason people believe in this is just a lack of basic science
It's because they're retarded. Anyway, let's go.
education. Some of them think that if the Earth was a globe, then water just run off on the South Pole.
Wait. So like they believe that the South Pole is there just stopping the water. Alright, let me not even think about it.
I wonder what. They also misunderstand how
Sure.
perspective works, how trigonometry works, how cameras work, and on it goes.
So they misunderstand everything. So again, it goes back to what did I say? Say it with me, guys. They're retarded.
But it's not just a matter of misunderstanding. If you believe that the Earth is flat, you also have to believe in a global conspiracy that's hiding the truth for no particular reason. For starters, you must believe that most of physics is wrong and physicists are just making things up. We're all part of a big conspiracy. Geophysicists, they're also in on it.
And do you remember the one video we were talking about not streamer university? The red pill university, like it's the same thing with them. It's like to accept some of these things, you'd have to deny a lot of other things that are like proven facts. And like, why would we argue with proven facts? Like, these are facts for a reason. It's not an opinion up for debate, bro. Shut the fuck up.
Astrophysicists, all liars. Everyone who's ever been involved in launching a rocket into space or putting a satellite into orbit is part of that conspiracy too. Moon landings didn't happen.
They all are AI generated. AI came, but like it was like before AI was a thing, but they're AI generated.
The ISS, not in orbit. Every single photo that's ever been taken of
Fake.
Earth from space, fake. Sounds pretty crazy, doesn't it? But then lots of people also believe that an omniscient being keeps track of who they have sex with.
Oh, did she just like? Why did you?
A
we
recent
attacking
representative
Christians?
poll in North America found that 5% think the Earth is flat and another 6% aren't quite sure.
You see, that's a little too much. Like, let me see this. Believe completely. The Earth is flat. Believe completely. 2%. Somewhat believe. 3%. That's 5%. Right there. Disbelief completely. 85. Did not answer, I imagine. So 5% and somewhat. Disbelief somewhat. What? You know, in all, this is probably just like 11. This is 11% of people that believe that the Earth, or have some notion that the Earth is flat. This is a little too much. Well, like How much people was this in total? What?
I'm not quite sure how many people lie in these polls, but there's no
Like just for the lols, right?
doubt that interest in flat Earth ideas has spiked in the past decade, as you can see in the Google search trends. In 2009, the International Flat Earth Society set up a website. In 2013, part of its members set up a wiki and discussion forum. Around 2015, the topic started to appear on YouTube and spread from here.
Like look at 2016. Like is it like it started rising and then boom exploded? Like what? What's going on for flat Earth? What were they? When what were people keep like what? What?
In 2017, the first Flat Earth conference took place,
Oh, that makes
which
sense.
attracted a lot of media attention.
That makes sense.
YouTube made big changes to its recommendation algorithm, and interest tapered somewhat off after that. But
This is when they started the misinformation era, right? Like this, like the 2019, the COVID era, right? Yeah, and people have started learning about shit and things, and like yeah, some people have fallen off the flat Earth thing because
rather than just
Yeah.
fading away, in recent years, interest in Flat Earth has been on the rise again.
But this is like more of a like retards. Are people just laughing at the retards?
It's
Isn't it?
probably to no small
Probably.
part because of TikTok, which has now become a haven for flat earthers. Scientists don't take flat earthers seriously, and
No one takes flat earthers seriously. Please, God, no one takes flat earth, right? Right? We all just say like maybe they just need to be like locked somewhere for like a short amount of time. Maybe they'll think about it clearly when they're not surrounded by foolishness.
I can see where they're coming from, but I think it's a mistake. To me, flat earthers are the
Yeah,
first
that's what I was thinking happening.
symptom of a much bigger problem. They show us what happens when people realize they can't understand modern science, don't trust scientists, and therefore throw out even the most basic scientific knowledge on the rationale of skepticism.
You know, with what she said, I could see this being even worse for like the future generation because we already have anti-vaxxers. Like I don't give a fuck what anybody wants to say. Like vaccination is a proven science. It's good for you. And anti-vaxxers are retarded. Flat earthers are just like new anti-vaxxers, and like we have more people disbelieving like proven science facts and junk, and because of that we're gonna have more rise of these alternate conspiracy theories. Y'all remember when I told you about colloidal silver curing cancer and that shit about that in advertising when I was a kid? Yeah, that was one of them. What the fuck is colloidal silver? Like, I think that turns you blue, right?
Flat earthers are somewhat extreme in that they're actually throwing out evidence that they could test themselves if they weren't so bad at science. But the underlying problem is much deeper because in most of modern
And I like seeing it. Like, look, the moon, like the moon and the sun. Like, how do you
science,
explain this? And like, you don't see them in the ear at the same time. Oh my god.
the average person can't test evidence for themselves. This is why I think it makes sense to identify the origin of this problem. And some scientists have actually studied this. They found that the scientific literacy of flat earthers tends to be well below population average. And at
So I was right when to say they were retarded, right?
the same time, they're much more confident of their scientific knowledge.
So they're wrong and strong. Basically,
Knowledge
they're wrong
than
and
the
strong.
average person.
Yeah,
On
man,
top
they're wrong
of
and strong.
this, we then get echo chambers in social media that reinforce their misjudgment. The trouble is that these two issues, lack of knowledge and an inability to recognize this lack of knowledge, are bound to become increasingly widespread, simply because, unfortunately, scientific knowledge isn't heritable. We're born without knowing anything of modern science. We have to learn everything, and the more sophisticated
Indeed, and like if you have retarded parents, they're gonna teach you retarded shit. Unless you have someone who isn't retarded, like you have a non-retarded. Sorry, listen, let me not use retarded much. Like you have a non-stupid role model that you follow, and you realize like, oh, my parents are idiots. Let me follow this person instead. But instead, you follow your idiot parents, learning idiot. Like I remember something my coach used to tell me. If you learn fuckery, you go practice fuckery and you go master fuckery. Learn the correct way.
sophisticated science becomes, the more learning that requires. Sometime in the middle of the 20th century or so, we reached a point where modern science just stopped being comprehensible to anyone without a special degree, and this is still the case. I don't really understand how CRISPR works. I've no idea what Teichmuller theory is. I don't know how phones work, and I yet have to figure out how to properly fertilize our lawn.
Yeah, like people don't like admitting that they don't know how shit works. Like a lot of people on, let's say, Twitter, for example, they just throw out some crazy ass shit, and then when they're called out on it, they're like, "Oh, I didn't know that," or like, "I didn't study," blah 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 blah, and like they get on the defensive and it's like, "Yo, but you were here saying it wrong and strong, but you didn't know anything about it." Like this one freaking girl talking about VTubers, right? She's talking about VTubers, and then when she's called like, "Oh, who's your favorite VTuber?" She's like, "Oh, I don't watch this thing, blah blah blah." That bitch, why are you even talking about it? Then you're not a part of their community, but yet you feel like you have an opinion that's worth shit. You get what I'm saying? Like they talk about shit that they're not even involved in. Like people don't know how to just not be involved in something that they don't like. You get what I'm saying? Like you'll scroll, you see something you don't like, you can't just ignore it. They have to give their opinions like anybody asks for it or anybody who wants it. It's so fucking annoying, especially on Reddit.
There's just too much knowledge in the world to learn it all, and unfortunately no one has yet developed a pill for quantum mechanics. But
Or retardation.
you don't actually need to learn any physics to see that the Earth isn't flat. Even leaving aside that it requires you to believe in this huge conspiracy, flat Earth ideas have a much bigger problem. It's that you can't do anything with them. You can't use them to do as much as predict sunset and sunrise, let alone tides or solar eclipses or the paths of planets. You can't calculate airplane routes or understand satellite navigation. Even if you know nothing about how scientists do calculate these things, it isn't hard to convince yourself that someone, somehow, did manage to actually calculate.
And that's the thing, they're not thinking about these things. They learn their fuckery, they practice their fuckery, and they mastered fuckery. They're not using their brains. That's why half of them are stupid. Most of them like the dog on the bottom part, like I should say, remember.
When the sun arises and when solar eclipses will occur, and those were not the people who believe that the Earth is flat. Why do flat earthers not realize this? I suspect what's going on is that they don't have the faintest clue how modern science works. They might actually believe that drawing a rotating blob on a disk in Blender is the state of the art in physics. Yeah. So what are we to do?
They never seen a globe. They probably never traveled. That's for sure. They definitely never traveled. And it'd be funny if they actually did travel already and they still believe the Earth is flat.
Dude,
like,
there'll always be people who distrust scientists, and that might not even be a bad thing. But I think it's a mistake to ignore flat earthers. And I do have some sympathy for them. I really do. They're trying to figure out how nature works. And that's a good thing. We should just encourage them to get better at it. And then maybe one day they'll figure out that it's actually much easier to explain their observations if they stop believing that the Earth is flat. Another reason...
What? Sorry, I was listening, but my mind was also elsewhere. But from what I get, I was going to say something, right? I think it was around... They would believe they're up to... Yeah, they don't... Oh, wait, no, I see what you were saying. Guys, ignore me.
I think we should take flat earthers seriously is that a lack of science education is more of a societal failure than a personal one. Luckily, there's an easy way to grow your scientific background.
But the thing is, you can also prove to them that the Earth is not flat through science, and they'll still not believe you. So does it not become a personal one at that point, if you think about it? Because they're literally choosing just not to believe you at that point. I feel like it's their
knowledge,
fault.
Which is on brilliant.org. I really like Brilliant's courses because they get to the point very quickly and help me to remember the key facts. All of
An ad?
Brilliant's courses come with interactive visualizations and follow-up questions. This gives you a feeling for what's going on, and it also lets you check whether you understood it right away. I even have my own course on Brilliant. It's a beginner's course for quantum physics. It explains what the wave function is and what superpositions and entanglement are. It also covers the uncertainty principle and Bell's theorem. And afterwards, you can continue learning more about your favorite topics in science, computer science, or maths. Whether that's special relativity
Cool.
or quantum computing, Brilliant has you covered. If you use our link brilliant.org/Sabine, you'll get to try out everything on Brilliant for 30 days for free, and you'll get 20% off the annual premium subscription. So go and check this out. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.
Oh, it's done. Well, guys, that's the end of the video. So what do you think about flat earthers? I think they're pretty stupid if you think about it. I know you think they're stupid. If you made it this far in the video, I'm pretty sure you think they're stupid. But hey, let me hear your thoughts in the comments below. You can follow me on those other things that I have on Twitter, on the other one that I have too. What do you call it again? Twitch. Yeah, follow me on those. Like, comment, and subscribe if you like the content. New videos whenever I feel like. Yeah, but you know, yeah. I'll see you guys later. Bye.